Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Om Jnanantimirandasya Jnananjanasragya Chakshurunmritam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our ISKCON YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 6th chapter, text 34. This is Narad Muni's advice to, or instructions to Vyasadeva. Etadhi aturachittanam matra sparse chayamuhu bhavasindho prabho drushto haricharyan varnanam. Sorry. It is personally experienced by me that those who are always full of cares and anxieties due to desiring contact of the senses with their objects can cross the ocean of nescience on a most suitable boat, the constant chanting of the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. Krishna Prabhupada in his purport says, the symptoms of a living being is that he cannot remain silent even for some time. He must be doing something, thinking of something, or talking about something. Generally, the materialistic men think and discuss about subjects which satisfy their senses. But as these things are exercised under the influence of the external illusory energy, such sensual activities do not actually give them any satisfaction. On the contrary, they become full with cares and anxieties. This is called Maya, or what is not. And that which cannot give them satisfaction is accepted as an object for satisfaction. So Narad Muni, by his personal experience, says that satisfaction for such frustrated beings engaged in sense gratification is to chant always the activities of the Lord. So, the point is that the subject matter only should be changed. No one can check the thinking activities of a living being, nor the feeling, willing or working processes. But if one wants actual happiness, one must change the subject matter only. Instead of talking of the politics of a dying man, one must discuss the politics administered by the Lord Himself. Instead of releasing activities of the cinema artist, one can turn his attention to the activities of the Lord with his eternal associates, like the Gopis and Lakshmis. The Almighty Personality of Godhead, by His causeless mercy, descends on the earth and manifests activities almost on the line of the world men, but at the same time extraordinarily, because He is Almighty. Sorry. He does so for the benefit of all conditioned souls, so that they can turn their attention to transcendence. By doing so, the conditioned soul will gradually be promoted to the transcendental position and easily cross the ocean of nescience, the source of all miseries. This is stated from the personal experience by such an authority as Narad Muni. And we can have the same experience also if we begin to follow the footsteps of the great sages, the dearmost devotee of the Lord. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his Sarartha Dasantika says that this verse summarizes the topic being discussed. Narad Muni, that advice. For those whose minds are affected by the desire for enjoyment, a sparsha of sense objects, that is matra, which is an ocean, the boat Bhava Sindhu Prabha, for crossing that ocean, is praising the Lord's activities. I have directly seen or experienced that drishta. There is no proof necessary, because Kirtana is the main anga out of many angas of bhakti. It is mentioned. However, the statement should mean that all angas of bhakti will be effective. Siddha Swami in his purport says, Para so prayojanam aha. his own experience, Narad Muni says. And in a common sandarbha, Sri Padaseva Goswami says, Sri Bhagavataha Priya Sravastavam Nama. The Lord is attached to those who sing about him, Priya Sravaha. He sings not for his own fame, but with the expectation of the Lord's mercy for all beings. May all beings become happy. The form of the Lord who gave him the Veena appears in his heart. The Lord gives him a Veena, that musical instrument, and Narad Muni Bajaya Veena, and is singing the glories of the Lord by this instrument. So thank you very much for listening to this lecture, and please don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our channel, and get blessings of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Om Timirandasya Jnananjanasakya Chakshurunmritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our ISKCON official YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, text 10. This is stated by Sonak Rishi in Naimisharanya to Sutta Goswami. This is a very famous verse. Prayanarpayasya sabhya kadavasmin jigajana mandhasu mandamatayo mandabhagya hyapudvata. So, O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. So, the purport of Prabhupada Maharaj says that the devotees of the Lord are always anxious for the spiritual improvement of the general public. When the sages of Naimisharanya analyzed the state of affairs of the people in this age of Kali, they foresaw that men would live short lives. In Kali Yuga, the duration of life is certain, not so much because of insufficient food, but because of irregular habits. By keeping regular habits and eating simple food, any man can maintain his health. Overeating, over sense gratification, over dependence on another's mercy, and artificial standards of living sap the very vitality of human energy. Therefore, the duration of life is certain. So in this way, this is the state of affairs in the age of Kali. So, in his purport, Srila Siva Vishwanath Chakravarti says, you should hear everything from my mouth, then you can decide what the best is. Because they were asking the questions, the sar of every Vedic literature, you give the essence. And sarang samrutam. What is our ultimate goal, and what is the essence of all Vedic literatures? So, if Sutta Goswami will say, you should hear everything from my mouth, then you can decide what the best is. I will tell you everything, so you find out what is the best. That's why the sages replied this verse, O Honorable says, you will know what is suitable for time and place. In Kali Yuga, people are generally short-lived. If they have long life, prayanarpayasya sabhya. But if Sutta Goswami will say, no, there are people also, they are having more better duration of life, or long duration of life. So, if the long duration, the long life by chance, then they are lazy to investigate spiritual topics. So, manda, they cannot investigate spiritual topics. Then, even if someone is not lazy, so if Sutta Goswami will say, no, there are persons who are very active, not lazy. Even if they are not, then he is unintelligent. Sumandamatayu. Their intelligence is not sufficient. So, if Sutta Goswami will say, no, there are people who are having sufficient intelligence. In that case, Namisarana Rishis, Sonagushi says, he is unfortunate on the Bhagya. Or he is devoid of association with devotees to teach the highest actions. And if Sutta Goswami will say, there are persons also who are very fortunate. So that's why they say, Upadruta. Even if someone has that association of devotees, he is afflicted. Under the control of affliction from sickness and other problems, he doesn't get the time to hear from the mouth of the devotees. Or even he does hear, he cannot discern the highest goal for the human being, and they carry out the actions to attain it. Or the sequence of qualities can mean that all people have all the bad qualities. So Siddha Swami in his purport says that Anyepi Bahunam Karena Bahusastra Savanadivir Binischinvanto Neti Ahu. That they hear it Bahukala for a long time, and so many literatures they hear, and thereafter they find out what is their sense. That's why this was stated in this way. So there are also so many acharyas, they have given commentary. Kama Sandharva Simbad Jiva Goswami in his Kama Sandharva says that Kali Purushani Neva Varnayati. The people of Kali Yuga are described. They have very little punya or mandabhagya. Mandabhagya, shalpa punya. In this way, this was stated. So thank you very much for listening to this lecture, and please don't forget to subscribe, channel, like our channel, and get the blessings of the Lord. Hare Krishna.